Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. We are going to react to the dark world of unrealistic male body standards. I've seen a couple of thumbnails of VTubers reacting to this, and I thought, hey, why not I? Why shouldn't I do that as well? So yeah, let's get into it. I'm interested. This is by Josh Brett. Link as usual in the description. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. It'd be a huge help to the channel. Anyways, let's get into it.
If you search Google for the perfect male physique, something interesting shows up.
Yeah,
the same for men's health. This wasn't always the case. Now, let me close those tabs before I start getting strange looks again. But many are calling this phenomenon.
Do you like men? Is that because of the strange looks? Do people think you like men? Yeah, women love to complain about, like, the unrealistic body standards of women. They have not seen the unrealistic body standards of men. Like, these are truly unattainable. Like, take a look at a men's magazine and you will realize, as a man, you are cooked. You are truly cooked.
One of the biggest threats to the fitness industry. And this isn't coming from people that just want an excuse to be lazy.
Unhealthy relationship with food. I don't court a banana. I don't.
Nor is it coming from the...
I mean, there's probably somebody out there who does in fact court a banana. There are people that are with toy planes, trains, trees, plants, AI girlfriends, Hatsune Miku. There's plenty of stuff like that.
Give yourself a hug type people.
Yeah, they're there, Cookie Monster.
In fact, the people speaking out are heavily incentivized to shut up and smile. And most do. But the more you
I'll be real. I think something that is something you can be proud of and that is somewhat attainable is Hugh Jackman's physique in the first X-Men. I like that physique, and I'm nowhere near close to that. I'm working on that. But I think that's a somewhat fairly attainable, and it doesn't look too crazy. It looks fairly normal, in fact.
The more you realize a harsh truth.
For an increasing number of men and boys, this otherwise benign desire to be more attractive transforms into something categorically disordered.
This
Body
is a
dysmorphia.
systemic problem, too taboo for television, but the human brain isn't built to recognize, often until it's too late.
No, there's no short, secret recipe for it, you know, you just have to...
Don't do this at home.
I don't ever want to be in that good a shape again.
It's not natural.
There's not many drug use or abuse issues where you get complimented so much.
They see it on the small screen on their phone,
God.
They see it on the big screen in Hollywood movies, it's in their hands.
Yeah, the reason why I started working out is because, like, the internet fired this at me. Relentlessly. That's the reason. But I'm also thankful for that because I didn't go, first of all, I don't go to that extreme, and second of all, it fixed a lot of issues, health issues that I had. Like, I had back pain, probably due to the fact that back muscles essentially were non-existent for me. I fixed that through, like, pull-ups and all that stuff. Yeah.
When they're a f***ing toddler.
So yeah, I decided
Oh
to
my
start,
god, that's a
start
kid. That's a
Don't
child.
compare yourself to
That's
these
child
people,
abuse.
'cause they're probably lying to you anyway.
You need
True.
to pull your head out your ass and understand.
It takes its toll.
It's not right, is it? I know it's not right, but I can't say for sure that this is going to stop.
So, how did body dysmorphia become so widespread and deadly? But more importantly, why are more people not speaking about this?
Because it's men suffering from this specifically. And men are not as valued in society. Specifically, like, we are reduced to the things we can offer. not to the people we actually, not to the people we actually are. Which is annoying, sure. On the other hand, it is probably still necessary, considering that women biologically want safety. So, that is why finances do play a role in finding a partner. It's also due to the media pushing this, and you know, the majority of people do eat this up without much trouble. It's also because women are also pushing this. So we have seen women saying that Jason Momoa or Chris Bumstead having a bod dad bod. God damn it. No, they're just off season. They don't have a dad bod. Yeah. And then of course, like, the fitness industry wants to make money. I'll need a trigger warning. This is gonna trigger me a lot.
What is
anyways.
the perfect male physique? For me growing up, it was something like this. Health magazines suggest the same. Over time, this ideal has morphed towards something leaner and more muscular.
Trust me.
Hollywood films make this clear.
Trust me, bro.
Similarly, with reality TV shows, female dolls are criticised for becoming unrealistic, but male dolls are arguably even worse. 1960s G.I. Joe looks like he's about to unveil the iPhone. 30 years later, he looks more like a bodybuilder.
True and real.
Early Luke Skywalker, besides modern Skywalker.
This can't be a licensed product. I would even say that the first one is, like the one on the left, is probably more licensed than this. Holy. It looks so ugly.
Batman, besides modern Batman.
Yeah, true.
If we ask AI to show us the ideal male physique,
Jesus.
a similar image is painted. There's a clear ideal becoming more and more extreme. So, what are we seeing here?
We're really putting our hands into AI.
Showing their slender bodies, white teeth and eyes in a beauty pageant to win the attention of the female judges. This is what the peak male looks like in the Bodai tribe, where the men compete to be the fattest. Ancient Greek statues depict a lean, muscular body.
I don't want to be fat either. I've removed that, thankfully, but I wouldn't want to be fat either.
Traditional Japanese culture associates masculinity with self-discipline, loyalty, and honor. To identify the physical ideal,
I would put that
into
the basket of masculinity.
The Oxford Dictionary defines it as the quality of being pleasing to the senses or to the mind. And looking across different cultures, the ideal seems to vary and change over time. Social media and the internet have erased cultural boundaries and created a highly competitive environment where only the most extreme stand out. This emphasis on leanness and muscularity isn't just a Western thing, it's gone global.
Yep.
We are witnessing the homogenization of the ideal male physique.
Plenty of
some
stuff.
refer to as hypermasculinity.
Hypermasculinity.
Even society's ideal men seem to be getting stuff done to achieve this.
There's been a lot of talk about the red pill and self-improvement, creating your hypermasculine character. Looking like you swallowed a shovel is probably not the answer.
The psychology that somehow would have led to this guy thinking he needs a jaw implant or something, I can't even fathom.
A self-improvement can absolutely go too far.
It can go too far in the sense that you, at least like I think it can go too far if you're like working too much in your job to like be more successful, going closer and closer to like burnout. Obviously physically, we have seen that. There's also people out there who break their jaws to get a like more toned jawline. This is ridiculous.
We aren't just talking Greek statue physiques. That was passed long ago. From facial aesthetics to height and muscle definition, some of the methods men are using to achieve such ideals you might find disturbing. That smile you see is from a man who just had his bone shattered in a surgery to add 2 inches to his height. A painful procedure that more and more men are getting. Although Mukesh recorded the physical pain at a 9 out.
I'm gonna say this. This is a push by women and social media, unfortunately. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. This is pushed through social media. And also women who think height is everything, first of all. I put these women into the first of all into the undateable category. If height is a deal breaker, that means you are so shallow that the height of another person is more important than their morals and values. And when somebody puts physicalities and like looks that tremendously over like morals and values, that is not a person I want to be around. It is a standard, you can have that standard, but I would not want to be around you. I would not want to act with you. It's like the same dudes who look like for like big boobs and big butts. Dude, I don't want to be close to you. Because these things are so unimportant. There's more important things than those. Instead of height, look at if they're healthy. Health could be a considerable standard. Do they eat well? Do they take care of themselves? That's much more important than such superficial things like height or like sexual organs. To me, this is ridiculous.
He stated it was less than the emotional pain he felt when people mocked him for his height.
We'll get rid of those love handles.
True.
Other men are getting abdominal implants.
Yeah, I hate my love handles. I'm working on those. They need to go.
Over 2 million Americans have cosmetic surgery, a number that's rising, with many trying to achieve an instant boost in muscularity.
Total spent on my body modifications is $950,000 US.
These people have access to $950,000. Look how much what you can do with that. You can build a house with that. You could pay off bills for years potentially. God, this is already giving me a headache.
Now, people can do as they please, but for many, one cycle or surgery is never enough. Bigorexia is a
it's also that these people look so ugly after this. They look way worse after this, partially. Sometimes. Like look at who's it? Madonna. Madonna looked great before those like all those like surgeries. And now she looks like, I don't know, like a swollen potato.
Where they never see themselves as muscular enough.
Already, I'm very curious as to why my waist is thicker than usual. Upper chest needs work. Why is my waist so thick? My arms just aren't big enough in comparison to my chest and my back.
Of course, this can lead them down a path of steroid abuse.
Yep.
When I was 15, I did something crazy that changed my life forever.
And with the rise of steroid-like compounds readily available to buy on the internet, many teenagers are shutting down their hormones for a more muscular physique.
Do I take any supplements as a 15-year-old bodybuilder? Yes, let me show you what to take.
I'm currently on 15 milligrams a day of Rag 140, so 25 milligrams a day of MK677.
You might argue these people are just...
Motherfucker, you are 15. You have bigger problems than looking muscular. First of all, who gives you the money for this? Shame on them. Second of all, work on your fucking grades. Graduate. Get a good job. Get money. Get rich. Build a family. Muscles are not that important.
However, some of the methods used in Hollywood
There's more important
are
stuff.
also questionable.
I was eating so much chicken breast that the hardest part about it was actually chewing it all. So I would just put it into a blender, blend it all up, and just drink chicken.
In fact, to achieve his physique in Baywatch, Zac Efron was also taking powerful diuretics to dry himself out.
When I was done with that movie, I don't ever want to be in that good a shape again. Really.
I don't think it's surprising that many
God.
people struggle with disordered eating habits, like Freddie Flintoff, who developed bulimia.
I became known as a fat cricketer, really. That's when I started doing it. You put your fingers down your throat. As you gag, you bite into your hand so hard. The wrenching to get it out. It's not right, is it? I know it's not right, but I can't say for
he
certain
essentially
this is
forced
what's
himself to vomit.
If you can look past the airbrush markers
all the
and
food
Hollywood
out.
magic, eating and exercise disorders amongst celebrities are everywhere.
So if I'm gonna get a girlfriend, I gotta have a six-pack. And so I thought that if I didn't eat anything, well, I wouldn't get any fat. And then if I worked out a ton, I would get big and muscular.
Meanwhile, some of the biggest influences...
That only works if you take, first of all, if you still eat somewhat enough, and second of all, you need, like, protein. A lot of protein for that to work.
Using Photoshop, Video Shop, and other deceptive practices to stand out on social media.
Here in the Western cultures, there has always been a tradition of muscularity, but in the last several decades, this emphasis on male muscularity seems to have accelerated.
No matter where you look, this can be seen.
We have both extremes now. For the men, it is being really muscular, and for the women, being fat is acceptable now, which both is not good. That is not how things should be. We have people like cheering on Lizzo, you go queen. That woman is probably dead in like 10 years. People don't see that. And these guys are probably dead in 10 years as well.
Yet, nobody wants to admit it. So, where could this change be coming from? And what could be driving it?
Warped ideals.
Over time, the Hollywood portrayal of the ideal man seems to be getting more and more muscular.
So when I got to Orange is the New Black, for the first shirtless scene, I definitely did some unhealthy crash dieting. And being in TV long enough, I'll tell you this is something that almost all actors and actresses do for these shirtless scenes.
They often achieve their physiques through aggressive crash dieting at the expense of their physical health to meet Hollywood's demands.
It's a couple hours a day, and it was brutal. The tricky part was eating.
The same occurs in Bollywood.
So putting on the weight was fun. I could eat and drink whatever I wanted and have a great time. And I had a ball. I have to say I had a ball. But it was also most uncomfortable. Even my wrestling training was affected because I was carrying so much weight that I couldn't really move fast enough.
This was the silver era of bodybuilding. This is the gold era. And this is today, with many bodybuilders displaying bubble butt.
You're ripped, you're huge, you look fantastic. No stomach, no nothing, no problems.
Because people do not come to a show to see bellies. And if they want to do that, they go to a maternity ward or something like that, and they can simply...
Wait, I'll let him finish.
Lumboism is a...
Careful. This needs to be set in the right context. This was not meant in a negative context. Arnold was talking about like this being in unhealthy development, not in a sense that like people don't want to see like fat, specifically like that what causes to have these men having bellies. That's what he talks about. So this is not to be taken negatively. He criticizes like that unhealthy behavior.
Side effect of heavy steroid usage.
That's what he meant.
About my belly.
Probably don't need to tell you, a similar physical progression can be seen in reality TV.
True,
Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped.
This is Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
This is seen as a dad bod. I don't think I have to say anything anymore.
His physique, labelled as a dad bod. Same thing for an off-season bodybuilder, Chris Bumstead.
Can you raise
this not a dad bod?
Can't see him. Oh.
Part of me wants to put these warped ideals down to improving knowledge, resources, and just a natural result of increased competition. But the rise of cosmetic drugs, technology to manipulate videos, and the super competitive social media environment where people only post their highlight reels, it can be difficult to separate social media from reality. But others have argued there's a darker side.
Especially since like these videos, they are with a pump. So the person, first of all, usually doesn't look like this big. Second of all, these are with good lighting. Good lighting can change a lot. For example, if you're like doing pictures like for a dating app, and they usually look ugly because there's not the right lighting for it. Lighting can do a lot of difference. Can make a lot of difference.
Some people profit immensely off these warped ideals. An invisible hand. Sounds very tinfoil hat. But to understand this perspective, we need to go deeper. To the man who wrote the book on propaganda and shaped the world of marketing as we know it.
Yeah, that's also a problem. Marketing, sketchy marketing.
1920. Women didn't smoke. It was extreme.
I take this from a German, like, bodybuilder. Do not buy protein powder. Get real, actual food. For example, eggs. Eggs are not unhealthy. They are called the superfoods for a reason. Just gobble down eggs. Literally, just gobble down eggs. They are not unhealthy whatsoever. It is still a myth going around that eggs are unhealthy. They're not.
Taboo. A
too many
masculine
eggs.
Thing to do.
There's a taboo by men that does not permit women to smoke.
Can we create a taboo where nobody should smoke? Why are you paying money? Why are you paying taxes to take your own life? Why are you doing that?
Or even at home.
Of course, the tobacco industry wasn't happy missing out on 50% of potential customers. Everything they tried
should
to
have
do
kept that.
To appeal to the female demographic failed.
We should have kept that, and then from there we should have went to no smoking at all.
The stigma was too much to overcome. When along came a young marketer, Edward Bernays. He had a secret weapon.
I hate you.
Knowledge passed down by his notable uncle, the father.
I'm gonna create a time-traveling morning after pill and delete this man.
Much of human decision-making was driven by unconscious and irrational impulses, often resulting in excess and overcompensation. Bernays decided to apply his uncle's theories to marketing. He didn't need to appeal to the individual woman and the rational benefits of smoking. He needed to completely reshape the cultural perception of smoking. So he hired a group of women at a big event, told them to all light up cigarettes, with photographers ready to take photos of them. These ladies weren't just lighting cigarettes, but torches of freedom, demonstrating their ability to assert their independence. He had staged a political protest to invoke the right emotion.
This is what I say about makeup and like the beauty industry. When women say they don't wear makeup for themselves, you aren't wearing makeup for yourself. You are wearing makeup because the media and the beauty industry told you so. Same goes for men who work out. I am a victim of that myself. Like I said in the beginning, I did not work out because I wanted to. I worked out because I saw others work out on the internet.
Next morning, there wasn't a newspaper in the United States, even the New York Times had a front page story, debutantes light torches of freedom to protest man's inhumanity to women by a taboo against smoking.
It worked. Bernays would go on to use trick after trick after trick in the marketing and political world.
If you smoke,
he wrote the book on propaganda.
I also don't like you and don't want to be near you, thank you.
With companies hiring psychoanalysts to capitalize on this new approach to marketing, a shift from need to desire in a post-war America.
Modern man quite often tries to work off his frustrations by spending on self-gratification. Modern man is eternally ready to fill out his self-image by purchasing products which complement it.
And what better way to improve one's self-image than through your own body? Vogue magazine invented cellulite, a perfectly normal thing, turned into a condition. Marketers went hard, tapping into the insecurities of women,
my god,
driving the massive growth of the beauty.
To those 8.3% of women watching this channel, no man on this planet cares about this. Not a single one. No one. Not a single soul. Not a single person cares about this. Thank you. Stop worrying about this. Stop worrying about also if you're a little chubby. Again, the dudes don't care. If you're overweight, sure, fix that. But aside from that, nobody cares.
The industry. Why this to be good enough was an extremely powerful message.
Is it wrong to give people what they want by taking away their defenses?
But much like with cigarettes, marketers realized they're missing 50% of their
We're getting a
customers.
compilation of weird shit.
Only this time, it was the men.
Dear God. That's plenty of... Zesty Italian. That's a weird sauce.
Much like with the creative marketing of lung cancer sticks, this is not always in your best interest. And after many iterations, these standards, what people want, has become more and more unrealistic. Advertising lives or dies by its commercial success, and insecurity sells. The human brain has evolved over millions of years and isn't built to deal with the rapid rise of the internet. Whether intentional or not, the display of unrealistic...
People cannot take the internet. That is true. We can daily see it on Twitter. There's also people out there who essentially have like Zoomer overload. I would call it. Where like I just recently watched like the Under the Tea podcast where they were watching clips of Alara essentially having Zoomer's sensory overload. This woman is not built for the internet. This woman is not built for being a VTuber, let alone a drama VTuber. But that's for another topic. Aside from that, why do we fall for bullshit? Because nowadays, especially nowadays, humans are a lot more weak-willed, I would say. If we see news, we do not check if those news are accurate. If we see like another Google document released, and when we do not take into consideration like not reading that and then just hearing hearsay from others. Like there are people out there calling Toaster a PDF file, which no, that was never said. That was never in that document. Why do you do that? Same goes for Tyga. We have zero proof that Tyga did anything with kids. Yet there's people still out there saying that he did anything with kids. Which is absolutely ridiculous. This is not the case. Which is absolutely ridiculous. This is not the case. There's so much shit going on.
Deceptive ideals in the media exploits our cognitive
The Rock.
biases, often to the detriment of both mental and physical health.
Oh my god.
It's why some of the most mainstream fitness advice is the least effective.
I don't know who still needs to hear this, but you do not target fat around your stomach with specific exercises.
Yeah, that's not working. The only way to lose fat, the only way to target fat around your belly is losing body, is dieting, is a calorie deficit. This is the only way to do it. People don't realize that.
Oh, let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they... Do you know how f***ing stupid the average...
Common sense isn't all that common, it appears. Let's don't let the average person, if you ask them something, most of the time, they have not put any thought into this. What you're asking them. Again, a lot of people don't realize this.
Which person is?
Average person applauds. True and real.
Ja, klar. Nein, nicht.
This is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with low experience in an area tend to overestimate their ability or knowledge. Regardless
True.
of how smart you are, if you're part of the human species, you're susceptible to your cognitive biases being exploited.
Is he smart? No, he's a freaking good-looking dude, okay? And he's making extremely large amounts of money by saying stupid things that don't make any sense, but you look at him and you're like, holy crap, he looks amazing. I'm gonna do what he's doing.
This is the halo effect, where people who are considered attractive tend to be rated higher on other positive traits as well.
If you were to look at this podcast,
Yep.
here,
If you are conventionally attractive, you will get treated better than, yeah, others. Which is why I tell others also to, if you are overweight, you don't like to hear that, but the 99.9% of the world population will treat you better if you are not overweight. That's just the way it is. Sorry to tell you that. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that's the harsh truth.
This some cheap shit, Joe.
No, that's the shit, bro.
you see that curtain down the back?
Fats and meats and never eating carbs.
But the way that he's tried to mimic the guest position on Joe Rogan, you fucking piece of shit.
Social proof is another, where simply a large following can make a person more trustworthy.
Yep.
By presenting a certain body type or standard as the
True.
norm, marketers create a reference
We've seen it a
point
couple of
that
times.
influences our perceptions of what is desirable. The anchoring effect. This, and an array of other blind spots, is what the media taps into. Often those people on social media, in magazines and on the big screen are just cogs in the machine. At the start, this was more blatant and easier to identify. Today, it's all around us, often with no escape. Don't get me wrong, I'm down for super effective marketing that helps people live healthier lives.
True and
But
real.
no other industry has such a high failure rate while being so profitable. I can't help but think back to the
Oh
many
my
people
God.
getting life-altering surgeries, developing eating disorders, and a lot of the negative
Imagine
side
breaking
effects
your
we
bones
haven't
to
even
get
discussed
2
yet.
inches taller.
Meanwhile,
I
obesity and
see how that
suicide
was.
rates are on the rise in
Yeah.
America. And a recent poll found that 1 in 8 UK adults have suicidal thoughts related to body image.
True, true,
There's
yeah.
a very clear disconnect. In
I had
fact,
that before.
a Harvard psychiatrist warned about this over 20 years ago. I don't think even he realized just how serious and widespread this would become.
I had that before where I thought I was just not attractive enough to find a partner until I realized that it's my standards and my standards are not compatible with the Zoomer generation, with my generation. They're just not compatible. And I don't give them the fault because they are the majority. It's just that my upbringing, I guess.
The many problems men have with their warped physical self-perception.
Little
was
angels
grouped
not
under
having
an umbrella
pants.
By Dr. Harrison Pope. The Adonis complex.
Yeah, Adonis
Adonis was half man, half god, according to Greek mythology. Visual perfection, the god of beauty and attraction. Dr. Pope has documented cases of men quitting prestigious jobs, people smashing their own faces with a hammer to qualify for plastic surgery, and others dying from disordered diet and exercise
Oh my God.
routines. Although these are extreme examples, this was over 20 years ago, and we've seen many more cases since. Pope suspects unrealistic standards driven by the media is what's fueled the rise of the Adonis complex.
Yep.
Yes, I've done steroids.
But here's the catch. When
The
beauty
Liver
is so
King.
subjective, the ideals so extreme, the effects are fatal. Today's children are growing up with the internet as a constant presence in their lives, with little knowledge of a world without it. And the harmful effects
I'm so happy I was an early Zoomer. I'm so damn happy I'm an early Zoomer. I grew up without this shit. I had my first phone at like touch phone at like 14, 15. I'm happy.
Effects of unrealistic body standards are evident through the growing list of casualties.
It was a Windows phone.
I'm a 14-year-old and I'm thinking about taking 50 milligrams of Deca per week
Dear
for 4
God.
weeks. I know about the side effects on adults, but not in teens. Is there any side effects I should know? I'm a 16-year-old boy, currently undergoing cosmetic limb lengthening surgery. I don't think I know what's best for me yet, but I absolutely cannot see myself regretting this decision. Sometimes unorthodox and drastic solutions are the best ones. I'm 15 years old and recently found out about SARMs. My goal is to gain more muscle and get leaner. I'm 5'11" and 145 pounds currently. My main concern is whether or not I should take Ligandrol, considering my age.
My brother, you are still growing. You are 15, you are potentially still growing.
These are just a few people on public forums about to make life-altering decisions, with many going through with it.
So yeah, I decided to start trying.
Whoa, dude. What did you just say?
We're witnessing extremely young kids take puberty-altering performance-enhancing drugs, with parents suspected to be giving it to their children as young as 6 for a chance to make it in Hollywood.
There's not many drug use or abuse issues where you get complimented so much.
What the fuck am I looking at?
To do things more naturally are suffering.
This cannot be in the United States. This cannot be in the West. It's like Russia or something.
Every single day for like 2 hours, do a load of steps, get like 4 hours sleep. You have no team to support you, and everything is being done just by you. It takes its toll.
Bro seems like he's... Yeah, and he's gone. He's no longer with us. Oh my god.
In life, there is this feeling that we all live with inadequacy.
Yeah.
There is this call to achieve and to go beyond all expectations, to outperform other people, to measure oneself against a panoply of influencers and gurus, to work ridiculously long hours.
Scott?
Well, because we are in competition with each other. Like, even, like, VTubers do not like to say this, but we are, in fact, also in competition with each other. Because we are fighting for the attention of, if you made it this far, you guys. I am trying to get your attention. Because if you watch my videos, this channel can grow. A lot of people, a lot of creators do not realize this.
One of the more wholesome fitness YouTubers, doing much of the things we see Hollywood boast about. Yet, it seems to have contributed to his early death.
But I've set it up, you're gonna think I'm gonna go up. Oh shit.
I remember seeing a 19-year-old die of a heart attack in the
Damn,
local
we could have
paper.
seen this
All
guy
of the steroids
dying
were
on the
found in his
stream.
system,
Oh
with
my
a
god.
suspected enlarged heart a contributing factor. Similarly to bodybuilder Dallas McCarver, who collapsed on stage, recovered, and sadly passed away with a heart almost 3 times the size it should have been.
A lot of people are speculating how much testosterone was this guy actually injecting to get a 55,000 nanogram per deciliter total T.
There's tributes on YouTube for all of the bodybuilders who pass away. Each year, the age is getting lower.
Someone is literally going to have to die on stage before something changes in bodybuilding.
Maybe these are extreme cases, but if you actually listen to what the very celebrities many look up to are saying, a very different side gets presented.
It's hard to look like, even if you do work out, to be that kind of in shape is not natural.
The way they achieve their rapid transformations is often highly unsustainable.
For guys, that's unrealistic, I'm telling you.
Zac Efron actually went through a phase of depression and insomnia after his brutal drug-assisted Crash Baywatch regimen. Channing Tatum, Luke Jackson, Ed Sheeran, Tyson Fury developed eating disorders and are warned about their unsustainable practices.
I started noticing it for the first time when I just started rebelling against a gym.
And these people have the top coaches and doctors at their side.
Truly, I don't know how people that work a 9 to 5 actually stay in shape, because it's my full-time job. And
because why do people do not see these clips, these interviews? They do not see these because they are usually not you don't see, wait a minute. You don't usually see these in like TV, on social media. They're like very hidden on YouTube. You do not see these.
I can barely do it.
When studies are suggesting the majority of men are now displaying signs of body dysmorphic disorder, it's an issue that's hard to ignore. But because of a stigma, speaking about this, seeking help, or even thinking about it is seen as weak, with many willing to end their lives or pin themselves because help isn't as macho. And even those who look the best aren't immune to this, because everything is subjective.
It's not only macho, not because it's macho, because where do you even go as a dude? Where do you go? If you want help, where do you go? Therapists? Therapy is very much tailored to women, not to men. Like, I have talked to other men who have been in therapy. They stopped going to therapy because it did not work. Because men want to feel strong and capable. Something that therapy, at least the way it is right now, is not existent yet. It is very much tailored to women. And aside from that, where do you go? Where? Men don't know where to go to ask for help. Even if you wanted to get help, where do you go? There is no place for us. Regardless of anything. Not just like body dysmorphia. Like, there's a reason so many men are homeless. Because we cannot go anywhere. There is a reason why so many men do not report physical abuse by their spouses. Because we cannot go anywhere.
I look like a normal, reasonable human being with like an acceptable amount of like muscle tone, right? But still in my head, there was like this crazy just distortion, body dysmorphia.
This doesn't mean you shouldn't find people in great shape motivating. Just that even your favorite idols get older and struggle with these things. Yet, it doesn't
look
get
in the
much
mirror, I
coverage
threw up.
because it's not as glamorous. Resistance training and having high goals isn't inherently pathological. I have respect for anyone who achieves an impressive body transformation, especially if done honestly. However, unrealistic body standards can have deadly consequences, regardless of where you think this stems from. Many point to Hollywood actors, supplement companies, dolls and clothing companies. I get why some people want to see the fitness industry burn to the ground. But pitchforking individuals and stealing kids' Power Rangers probably isn't the answer.
It's just a doll. It's just a stupid little plastic doll.
Nor is polarizing people with men or women having
that's funny.
There is no them and us. The market decides what sticks, so mass awareness is a big part of the solution. You vote with your money and attention. This isn't necessarily better than this, nor is this than this.
People are too weak to vote with their money. You also vote with your time, to be honest. You also vote with your time. Which, shoutouts to the Genshin community. You failed your boycott because you weren't able to stop playing the game. Let's continue. Genshin community catching strays here.
It's up to you to discover what you really want, and not have others decide this for you. Dr. Pope suggests the following as potential outlets if you get caught up. Personally, I still go to the gym. While I'll never look crazy, it's been very satisfying to get closer to a goal that I had as a kid. Especially considering I don't think it's an unhealthy obsession anymore. Ironically, with progress being the best,
people have no resilience though.
I realize the hard way
no longer
that looking good means nothing if you don't feel good. If you ever tried to get in shape, please understand this. It's all I'm trying to get across to the video. I don't often ask, but sharing this video wherever you can would really help a lot. Self-improvement is supposed to enhance yourself as a person, not replace yourself. So, the perfect male physique, based on the evidence, it never existed. It's what you believe it is. I just hope trying to get there for you isn't as deadly as it's been for so many people. Hey everyone.
I think the video here is essentially over, so here's my idea. The perfect physique is the one where you personally, because everybody's different, the perfect physique is the one you are at your healthiest. Most potential at most health is the perfect physique, in my opinion. How that is attainable? I do not know. I think that varies from person to person, from man to man. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.